Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Total4's YouTube channel. Captain Nasty's here once again. And the godfather of sim racing gear reviewing, good old Barry Rowland. I can't even do his voice justice. Did a really good review of the Fanatec DD2, and he pointed out something that I wanted to check out on my wheel. And I want to make this a challenge to other people that have YouTube channels, whether they're big or small. I just want to see if we can get other people that already have cameras that can easily take a video of how much flex is in their unit to post it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and this thing is cranked down. So you can see that's me pushing as hard as I want to for like when I actually like maybe break something on the actual wheel itself. You can definitely see some flexing there. But not a lot though. It's nothing like Barry's video, and maybe that's just because he had a whole bunch of adapters on there and had more leverage on it. I suspect that has something to do with it, but we all know where Fanatec stuff is really made. And the tolerances, you think, oh, maybe the tolerances are too tight. Well, watch me shake my rig to death. It's on casters, and it moves. Oh my God, it's stressful taking it off. So I don't know that I'd want a machining tolerance any tighter than this to actually try to use the quick release. So my question is the level of flexing that you saw in my wheelbase acceptable given how hard you're going to have to balance that with getting the wheel off and on the quick release? I think the issue is really the system that Fanatec used. Barry has another really cool video about two other quick releases where he demonstrates that, and there's like no play and they look like they're really good, but they have cables too. So anyways, I'm not telling you what opinion to have. I'm just, trying to provide a different perspective on that topic. And I'm certainly wouldn't say I'm like a huge Fanatec fanboy because I have lots of videos on how to fix all their stuff. So I've certainly lived that life. But I'll say that the compromise and that minimal amount of flex that you saw in my setup here, when you consider, that it's already pretty tough to get the thing off and on, and just in this design, maybe this isn't the right design. But that coupled with, not needing a cable is a huge thing for me. I'm going to be doing a lot of drifting on here, and I play, lots of, I play Wreckfest and other games where you're counter steering going lock to lock, and I just didn't want that cable flying around, at all. And I think that's a big benefit. And for me personally, I'd say that those benefits outweigh that small amount of play. So I'm just going to throw my other rim on here. And you're going to be like, well, it's a CSL Elite wheel. And it is, but it's got a quick release on it, okay? It's got this kit from this dude that used to sell them. Apparently, he's not selling them anymore. I actually took that video down because I had a person say that he was kind of unresponsive and didn't sound good. So anyways, let's see how much this thing flexes on here. And watch just getting it on, too. So a little more. Okay, so that goes on really easily. So definitely a different machining tolerance on the inside of this unit here as well. All right. More flex for sure in that one. But again, the wheel is flexed, so I'm putting so much force on this to make it flex there on the quick release that I'm actually flexing the wheel rim a bit too. And I know this is an entry-level wheel. This is not something I'm going to have forever. I'm, waiting for Black Friday to get some more stuff. I'm not a rich man here. And anyway, so for normal, I just don't, I don't know. You know what I'll do? Let's go drive it and see if we can see any flex when we're driving, because that's the real test and that's what really matters. And I think that's the only way to give you guys like a valuable video on this. So I'm just going to do that. All right, everybody, we're here in Assetto Corsa, and I'm going to run this thing cranked up at a higher force feedback value than I usually race with it on for sure. So this is in high torque mode. Force feedback's 100. FOR setting is 100. FEI is 100. No smoothing at all. Gain is at 85 in Assetto Corsa. So this, I would never run this in high torque this high. No one watching this channel probably would either, but it's going to be like, I think, 16 plus Newton meters. Just want to show the settings here so you could see what we're actually working with. Let's go ahead and load up the track. And one thing I want to mention while this is loading, so there's a little hole in a slot on the back here you can see where it looks like you could put a piece of hardware, and there's a storage pin that comes with these, but nowhere in the Fanatec instructions does it say anything about putting a piece of hardware, on one of their quick releases onto this DD wheel. So I read the DD manual for this, and it does talk about this hardware slot, and it's here for the CSL Elite wheelbase, you know, the stock one where it's got that really janky quick release piece of crap thing on it, and that's the way to keep that working. But it doesn't say anything about that in the Formula Fanatec model or in the Formula Fanatec manual or the DD Fanatec manual anywhere about using hardware to secure these things. So I didn't want to do that. I'm a man that likes to read the manual. So we're just gonna test this thing out, and we're gonna see if this thing flexes. I don't know if it's gonna flex or not. We're all kind of in here blind together. So this is an F3 car at Magello, the RSS car. And I didn't put it on hot lap. Oh, it feels really strong force feedback already as I over rev it. So that's 16 Newton meters right there, and that's not even a loaded up fast corner. I picked this track because there's some direction changes and I know it relatively well. And there's definitely going to be some high force feedback kind of areas going on here. Like through here. Oh! Oh, I can't believe I actually elected to hang on to that. Well, that was a good test. Well, crap, we beached it. All right, let's just try that again real quick, just to get a little more camera time to see if this thing is moving around. I'm just gonna let the field go by so I don't get taken out. We can actually get going here. Oh, come on, guys. Well, that's as patient as I can be. I don't think sim racers are known for their patience. Boy, the force feedback is... it's just so awesome. I don't know. I'm not even on this value, I don't feel the flex, but I'd be curious to see if it's actually happening. I can't possibly try to watch that flex camera while I'm driving this thing. Tell you what, someone ought to put a Fitbit on when they're on with these DD wheels and see how many calories they burn on a high force feedback value. I could see getting some pretty cut shoulders out of this whole deal. Some high, yeah, that was 19. That was 19 Newton meters right there. So this is basically 100% FFB challenge on accident, I suppose, here, because this DD1 only goes to 20 and we just hit 19. I'll be curious. I'll read how hot it gets too. Just maximum direct drive wheel knowledge. God, jeez, I couldn't do this more than a couple laps. All right, the motor is at 36, the driver is at 41. It's still really cool. I've had it hotter than that on lower torque on hotter weather days in this wannabe Barry Roland sim racing garage. Like, I have a broken down supermoto bike in the back. You know, Barry's cool. He's into supermoto clearly too. I have a similar bike, but it's mine. The handlebars are gone and the subframe's bent because I had a bit of a moment, you know, one of them racing moments. Oh, I should have mapped my DRS. I'm kind of just having fun driving this thing like this. It's amazing those guys that drove like Group C cars that had like more output than this. Those guys are beasts. I mean, you know, back in the day there were cars that put out more than 20 Newton meters, and yeah, I hit 15.7 in that last corner. See if we can hit 20, make a clip. Getting close to the top of that. So that red line is clipping, so that's probably 20 Newton meters. Oh, yep, 20. 100% force feedback. Oh, jeez. All right, I'm goofing off and having way too much fun. Not making this right now. But, jeez. I'm gonna start sweating too much. It'll be funny to drive low torque right after this. I suppose we'll do the low torque at a, oh man, 18.4 through there. That is awesome. 19.5 through that last corner. So I don't know if it flexed or not. Hopefully my rig's not moving at all or anything. I have casters on this rig, and I took them off just to make this video because it definitely, the casters are the weak point, but it has more fidelity without the casters. I will say for sure having your rig just flat on the ground on feet is ideal. That there's a difference there that's noticeable. But for me, I have to have casters. Okay, so let's pick a. So I've already got my low torque wheel setting loaded, so that's nice. 2.5 rips, bro. All right, this looks like a bad idea. Let's do it. So I'm going to put this on my low torque setting, which has a little more natural damper. If you've watched any of my other videos, that's really the main difference here. Is now watch how hard this thing's going to be to get off. I'm going to like blast myself in the mouth with this thing. Oh, Jesus, I look like a total dick right now. Oh, I didn't hit myself in the face, thank God. Although that probably would have been pretty good content, really. Idiot YouTuber who sucks bashes his own face with Fanatec gear. Alright, now watch me bend a pin on here. Let's do it the way they say to do it in the... Oh, that's interesting. Alright, well the rubber's pushed up, so... Usually I will tighten this up so the collar hits right here. It's the way it says to do it in the manual, but it has detorculated itself to a... Yeah, this one will be curious to see. I wonder if running it on high torque had anything to do with it loosening. Alright, cue horrible video editing by amateur garbage YouTuber. Forgot to turn up the force feedback setting there when I first started out, so I didn't want to waste your time going through all that. Let's see if we can get it to flex here. This is going to put about 10 Newton meters on the low torque setting, maybe 9 for sure, between 9 and 10. We're going to let these guys get a little. Okay. What is this, an SRS race? What was that guy, Alex Nelson, over there, just trying to get wild on me? Well, lots of braking. No shortage of braking. Why does that RX-3 sound like a quad rotor? A lot of these mods are on the Legion page, which is a really kind of untapped resource, I think, in terms of getting good mods, especially if you like vintage cars. If you just Google Legion Assetto Corsa, his blog should come up where he's got a bunch of downloads for some really good stuff. And I know Baza and some other people are kind of working on some things as well. F1 Classic is another really good forums if you like vintage Assetto Corsa stuff. I mean, I definitely don't feel any flexing, but again, I wouldn't necessarily... Well, I'd be curious to test it out with a big old Schonger wheel rim on the podium hub when they come out with that. I think that'll be a real test, and we'll definitely be doing that for sure. We're all about that vintage life here. I got a couple spare steering wheels. That I would like to mount with like no buttons on them, just straight up. I mean, I can't detect, even just going crazy like that, I can't detect. Really can't detect any flex, just even throwing it around and whipping it as hard as you can, kind of. BMW 2002 for sale. Never over-revved or skidded. I don't know. Personally, I'm not feeling any flex in this thing. I'm not saying that it's not there, because when you torque on it all crazily and put a lot of force into it, let's be real, you can see it. It's there, and especially if you have a lot of adapters and kind of a crazy setup like Barry. And I think that's what it comes down to. You know, you buy into this Fanatec stuff because the ecosystem is a big part of it. You know, getting all these really nice wheel rims that don't have any cables on them. From my own personal perspective, I think I'll take that with what I'm going to call undetectable flex when driving. You know, and then versus having an adapter with a cable and then being able to get the thing to really flex, and maybe you're noticing. It's like at that point, you know, just get a Leo Bodnar wheel. Or, you know, it's awesome there's competition. I really want to try a SimCube too. I know that William Marsh has one. He lives pretty close to me. He's a super... Oh boy, that was a fuck up. Oh, I'm going to go into purple screen of death here. All right, good. Good talk. Well, yeah, so I'm going to try to get a chance to try William's wheel is there. Man, I'm kind of wore out after that first high force feedback deal. Thanks for liking and subscribing. I really appreciate that, guys. I put a lot of work in these videos, and I try to do different things that aren't already on YouTube. There's a lot of people making stuff, and I always try to make different stuff. I hope you guys like it. I hope you come race with us. I don't do this. I don't give a crap, you know, about being a guy getting likes on YouTube. I want to have people to race good sim racing titles with that are fun. They like to have a beer, they like to come hang out and chat. So check us out on Discord. You know, really, we're getting down on AC right now. We're waiting for AMS2. And I think that's about it, guys. Captain Nazi is here. Over and out.